I said, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? I said, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? 25 years of my life full of steel. I'm trying to get up the... I have never heard you guys so quiet. What's going on? What's going on? Listen, are we in the Hammer? Come on, guys. So it's great to see so many fierce leaders and fiery members. I see our newcomers, and everybody is ready to participate because you're loud and spirited today. Are you participating in the work of our fantastic union? Yes or no? Yes. No, yes or no? Yes? Who's not ready? That's right. But who is ready to participate? So I'm stoked to be here in Hamilton. It is a gorgeous, earthy city. It breathes solidarity. Can we all agree on that? So I'm gonna be putting on my labor history hat now, as one does. Hamilton was built by working people, those in steel mills, factories, construction sites, scrappy people. Are there any scrappy people here today? Hamilton affectionately earned the nickname the Hammer, and some say it comes from the clang of steel ringing out across the skyline, and others say it points to the work ethic the Hamiltonians hammer away no matter the challenge. Regardless, Hamilton forged itself through hard, rugged work. They know how to unite the fight. Do we agree? Listen, guys, was there too much conga line last night? Do you agree that we are in Hamilton in Region 4 and they know how to unite the fight? Do you agree? That's better. In 1872, the 9-hour movement started in Hamilton, marking Canada's first national attempt at a labor movement, pushing for a 9-hour workday, imagine, which united both unionized and non-unionized workers. Imagine a 9-hour workday. That'd be something. But that fight was more than about shorter hours. It was about dignity, fairness, and the belief that working people deserved better. Sound familiar? That spirit carried forward through decades of strikes and union organizing. So when we talk about Hamilton or the Hammer, say it, Grace. The Hammer. We're talking about more than steel and industry. We're talking about a fierce community that stands together, and about a city that has never stopped fighting for the people who keep it running, and some of them are here. So everybody, welcome to my home region, Region 4, and welcome to Hamilton. Now, quick question. Who here attended Provincial Leadership Meeting in March? You can raise your hand. Who was there? Now this is a pop quiz. Let's test your memory. Joan, I'm looking at you. Can anyone tell me what big win I announced right at the top of my PLM speech? Shout out your answers. What was it? No, that was pre-Hilda. 1745. Kenny. Can anyone? A big win, something that we worked hard on during a PSLRTA campaign. Does anyone remember PSLRTA? What was it? Ontario Health at Home. That's right. So this is what happened. ONA winning the right to represent Ontario Health at Home professional members during a spicy campaign. And then right at the end of that section, I said something else. I said that we were not yet done organizing. Remember that? Okay. Well, it's true. Something very remarkable and rather quick in the terms of organizing happened in April. Nurses at Markham-Stouffville Hospital voted overwhelmingly to join ONA. So how did this happen so quickly? Well, it began with Markham-Stouffville Hospital nurses being fed up. Is there anyone here that's fed up? And this was a rapid and intense campaign that began with meetings in January. An inside organizing committee at Markham-Stouffville Hospital quickly formed and began gathering names of supporters and leads for most of the unions. And then the fierce nurses started a WhatsApp group that grew to almost 600 nurses within a couple of weeks. That's extraordinary. They were fearless and determined. I gotta wake you guys up. Is anyone else here fearless and determined? That's right. And on March 12th, we sent out a link to the electronic organizing card and received more than 200 returns within the first few hours. That's amazing. And over the next few weeks, the cards continued to come in a steady pace. And by April 7th, we had more than 70%, 600 signed cards, and filed the application with the Ontario Labour Relations Board. It's amazing. In the meantime, well, you know what happens in the meantime. The employer began sending their anti-union bullshit propaganda around, but we were able to put out the fires and maintain strong support. The employer tried to flood the list with names, increasing it to more than 1,000. For those who are new to this is a tactic that employers try to do to turn the vote in their favor. Try to increase the number of no votes so we would lose. But we organized around this, and the result was even better than we had hoped. During the week of April 13th, nurses voted, and it was a resounding win for ONA. An astounding 615 voted in favor of joining ONA. Awesome. That's gonna be my new PIN on my bank card. 615, 0615. Anyone needs a loan, just, you know. So what does this amazing result mean in the larger Ontario healthcare system? Why is this win significant? It means that all hospital nurses are unionized in Ontario, except for one, for now. I think it's just, yes, it's amazing. For now, we have our eyes on you. You know who you are. The 25-person inside organizing team, supported by our staff, were the ones who organized, strategized, capitalized, visualized, and energized this campaign to their colleagues and made joining ONA a reality. That is an example of united to fight. So who wants some more good news? This is change. How about a pay equity win? Yeah? So we are negotiating a new pay equity plan with the OHA. Who knows the OHA? Yeah, and it's a shame. Yeah. Oh dear. This, as you can imagine, anything with the OHA is tough, and this is no exception. But we have not backed down. The latest has to do with the job information questionnaire. The parties use it to gather information about the jobs, that will be evaluated for the new plan. So listen, I know this might sound a little bit boring, but I need to tell you this, and I'll get to it here. It's a little bit more. The questions are crucial because if you don't get asked the right ones, aspects of your job will be left out during the evaluations, and your job will end up being undervalued. Sound familiar? So the Ontario Hospital Association, yes, wanted to exclude many aspects of our work. Surprise. They wanted to prioritize managerial recruitment over what we do. I'm sure we're all shocked by that too. But we refuse to put up with that nonsense, and we will not accept being silenced or undervalued. Do you agree with that? So this is why we filed a complaint to the Pay Equity Office against the Ontario Hospital Association. We know how important and impactful your work is. We know that communication and sensory skills are not optional in our jobs. They are critical and they are essential. Do you agree? So I'm happy to report that the Pay Equity Office has agreed with us. The OHA was forced to amend its version of the questionnaire, and as a result, the final questionnaire better protects and advances your interest, and I think that's extraordinary. So what are the next steps? We will now return to the table with the OHA and continue with these negotiations, and we all know how that is. This is another win for our members, though, and we will continue to plug away until we get the results we demand for our members. The end. How do you feel about it? Now, I'm pretty stoked about this next part here. I want to acknowledge a group of members who are here with us. They have a very important role to play in moving our union forward. So, in March, we did something we have never done before. We gathered 30 randomly selected members at an assembly to help inform our next strategic plan. Now, I want to say that we won't be calling it a strategic plan. Corporations have strategic plans. We all know them, right? But we are a union. Corporations, they hang their strategic plans on the wall and kneel down before them. But they still don't follow them. Is that your experience as well? That's right. I am not calling it that. In reality, this plan is about our power and our future. So that's why it's so important that this assembly was made up of all grassroots members who were not actively involved in their union at the time. They were selected by lottery, but are broadly representative of ONA's membership by region, sector, profession, or demographics. The goal of the assembly was for members to learn about ONA, engage and share their ideas and priorities for the challenges we face and our future work. ONA is the only union in the world to do this. The only union in the world. And I won't get into a lot of detail about the assembly because you'll hear more about this at our November PCM. But I will share one nugget that warmed the cockles of my Irish heart. An informal poll was taken during the assembly, and it showed the members overwhelmingly want a social union model with high levels of grassroots engagement over a business model that some unions have, that acts like a third-party entity delivering services. This shouldn't be surprising to any of us. This shift has been at the heart of so many changes we've made at our ONA over the past few years. To see grassroots members validate these changes is yet more proof that we are heading in the right direction. So I think almost all of the members from the Members' Assembly are here today. Can you please stand up? You're over there. It's amazing work. Thank you all for joining the Assembly. I have one thing though. I wish there was a billiards table here for us to go at here. Monique would agree. Monique, do you agree? Monique agrees. So here's a news flash for all of you. Hospital CEO bad bosses are up to no good again. Surprise, surprise. I shouldn't say just hospitals, but public health, long-term care and community are also affected. I'm talking about cuts to frontline care, cutting nurses and healthcare professionals, hundreds of cuts across Ontario, and that is a shame. Oh, guys. Is that a shame? You want to fight about it? Yeah. Is it a shame? It is a bloody shame. So let's talk about the numbers. Since January 2025, more than 1,200 cuts have happened in healthcare workplaces. And you can see the scrolling list on the slides. Blue Water Health, County of Lambton Health Unit, North Bay Regional Health Centre, the Ottawa Hospital, Dundurn Place Care Centre, London Health Sciences Centre. I'm going to stop there. Now let's reflect on London Health Sciences Centre for a moment, shall we? Where's Lindsay? Where are you? I see you. So let me set the scene. The bargaining unit president was notified that hundreds of positions would be cut. So we did what we typically do when there are such serious cuts. We sounded the alarm. We wrote a media release about it. We dispatched it to journalists who readily picked up the story. Now, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but London Health Sciences Centre Supervisor David Muji is not a nice guy. Where's Carol from Windsor? Earlier this year, he took away unlimited mental health benefits for staff who were not covered under the ONA collective agreement. Shame. As CEO of Windsor Hospital, David cut dozens of workers, including nurses. Shame. He is a strong proponent of healthcare privatization, which began back in Windsor with cataract surgeries. That's a shame. And now he has cut hundreds of nurses and frontline workers in London, and that is a shame. So here's our warning for David and others. If big shot CEOs decide to pick on our members, we will push back, and we will be pushing back hard. By we, I mean all of us. Are you in? Yeah. Are you ready to push back? All right. So these cuts are why employers, CEOs, and managers are not our friends. They are not to be trusted. They are not to be given the benefit of the doubt. This could happen anywhere. Please do not think for 1 minute that managers, CEOs, directors have your back. This is false. The people who have your back are in this room. They are to your left and to your right. Do you agree? Your siblings in arms, you are united in the fight. Do you agree? Do you agree? We are working together to fight back. We will do this together. And we launched a new ad campaign to raise public awareness about these cuts. Can we roll the video, please?
Cuts to staffing, they affect us in so many different ways.
Patients are frustrated, waiting longer.
We're tired. We're burnt out.
only 2 years in my nursing career, and I've seen so many nurses quitting the jobs.
It can be very trying at times. There's no take a 5-minute break to breathe when you have someone that's having chest pain down the hall.
This is absolutely not what I signed up for. I signed up to help people.
It's simple. All we need is more staff. Talk about the pride they have in having a fully funded public healthcare system, and it's not the reality. It's falling apart, it's underfunded. We need the public to come out and speak out and say, hey, I'm not being able to access my services. I believe in our system and I believe in public health, and the struggle is that our government doesn't believe in it in the same way that we do.
I think to compare nurses to superheroes almost benefited the employers, almost benefited the hospitals in a way, because it kind of othered nurses working at the bedside of, oh yeah, you can do more with less because you're superheroes. We might be superheroes or we might be, super people, but we're also humans, and we need to be treated like humans in order to treat the people that we care for.
This Nursing Week, Ontario's nurses are telling the public we all deserve more, not less. Every day, nurses advocate for their patients, residents, and clients. It's a standard of care they're not willing to compromise, even in the face of impossible workloads. Nurses are experts in care, fighting for change. From May 11th to 17th, join the call for safe staffing, sustainable funding, and better public health care, not just for nurses, but for everyone. A message from the Ontario Nurses Association.
Have funding to staff your hospitals appropriately, you're not going to have anyone there to help you when you have someone that could possibly harm you. You won't have the extra nurses to sit with these patients that may need extra attention before they escalate.
How's that? Where are our members here that took part in these ads? Are there any? I know there are some. Can you stand if you're here, Dwayne? I think it's incredibly brave to take part in these. Andrea? Powerful. So the Ford government and healthcare CEOs need to know that workers and the public are completely against these cuts. We need to show the public how devastating these cuts are. And we're pleased to unveil our campaign webpage that keeps track of the cuts that our leaders are hearing about on the ground. We are tracking the number of positions we have lost. There's a little ticker there. Please visit this page often at ona.org/cuts, and it will be updated frequently. And please, I'll say it again, ona.org/cuts, it's right up there. Who here wants to take solid, direct action around these cuts? Raise your hand. Just a moment, please. Who here wants to take solid, direct action against these cuts? Please raise your hand. It should be like the wave. If your hand's down, I'll see you later. In my office, no. There are lots of actions coming up, so please reach out to your provincial political action committee in your region, where they're collecting petitions for safe staffing ratios. This is one way we can force the government to maintain and improve staffing levels. So speaking of our petitions, they have been read in Queen's Park. Did you know that? So when MPPs read the petitions in Queen's Park, it forces the Ford government to respond to them. Imagine that. We get our demands on record, and the Ford government must reply. So after months of waiting, sometimes it takes a bit longer because they don't really work much, right? They're not there much. So after months of waiting, we finally received an official response from the Ford government. Ready? And I'll be frank, it's no surprise to anyone here, it was a non-response. So we're going to give you a sneak peek at a video we're producing about Ford's response. Can we please play that video? For almost a year, grassroots ONA members have been collecting thousands of signatures from community members and co-workers. We're demanding that the provincial government introduce nurse-to-patient ratios in all healthcare settings. And more than 8,500 Ontarians signed the petition, joining our call. 31 members of provincial parliament from 3 different political parties read our petition in the legislature, demanding action and a response from Premier Doug Ford. Well, we finally got an answer from Minister of Health Sylvia Jones. Well, I was planning on reading this to you today, but there's one problem. Nowhere are the words staffing ratios mentioned in their response. Not once. Thousands of Ontarians and dozens of MPPs have repeatedly told this government that Ontario needs nurse-to-patient ratios. And Sylvia Jones can't even say the words. It's more than a shame. It's just the latest example of this government flouting transparency and accountability to those people that they claim to represent. Meanwhile, other provinces are legislating nurse-to-patient ratios, but once again, Ontario is falling behind. ONA members know that staffing ratios will make public health care safer, timelier, and more accessible for all Ontarians. We need your help. Spread the word and join us. Are you with me? She seems pretty nice. It's a little pointed at times. So listen, the video is still not finalized. It's a bit rough around the edges, but you get the idea. How did you like it? Yeah? So stay tuned for the official release. We'll have some velvet ropes and a red carpet and things. I'm sure I'll get some sort of statue for that performance. So who here knows what we did on the first day of Nursing Week, May 11th to be exact? That's it. Yeah! You want one? The merch shop, my friends, the merch shop. Yes, this is what happened. It's two-sided, not the lawn sign, but we launched our charter challenge to strike down the Hospital Labor Disputes Arbitration Act, or HILDA. How do you feel about that? Okay, that was a bit better, but how do you feel about it, really? Yes. First time, first union to challenge it. First time, first union. How do you feel about that? So the act is outdated, it is wrong, and it strips nurses and healthcare professionals of our constitutional rights. Do you agree? So tomorrow, we have a fireside chat with our Hospital Bargaining Council, Julia Williams, and Hilda Challenge Council, Danielle Bisnar. So stay tuned. But your lawn sign, if you're in, and there's t-shirts, we got them. We should be parading around with this with our chests puffed out. Come on, how do you feel about it? So, before we leave this item, we have a summary of what transpired in May in the form of a video. Can we roll the video, please?
For more than 60 years, Ontario law has stripped nurses and healthcare professionals of their fundamental rights. That's why we have launched a constitutional challenge to strike down the Hospital Labour Disputes Arbitration Act, or HILDA.
Without the right to exercise the most powerful tool in collective bargaining, by withdrawing our labor, we cannot win the changes we all need and want to see in our healthcare.
These rights are exercised by our peers across Canada and around the world.
Striking is the only way, I think. You know, we feel we're not being listened to.
Making HILDA one of the most restrictive labor laws in the world.
If nurses are prevented from taking meaningful job action, then how can we truly show the public the urgency of what is happening in hospitals? Restricting nurses' ability to take action does not protect patients. It protects a broken status quo of arbitration.
Our governments and bosses benefit, ignoring our bargaining demands and counting on arbitrators to impose contracts.
HILDA guts healthcare workers' bargaining power, disproportionately impacts women who make up over 90% of healthcare workers, and harms the public healthcare system as a whole by stripping frontline workers of effectively using their voice to improve conditions of patient care.
No longer. We are fighting to strike down HILDA and to restore our rights. And we're just getting started. Join the fight.
I love the beginning of that where we're marching in, but it was rad. It was just amazing to be there in Queen's Park to do that, making history. It was extraordinary, Peggy. Yeah, amazing job. So who remembers our Code Black and Blue ad campaign from last fall and most recently from this past May? Who remembers? It's very impactful, with many people reaching out to us praising, if you can believe it, the brutal truth of our members' stories. It's extraordinary. We've had people from far reaches reaching out, congratulating and admiring. It had millions of views and help put our issues front and center. And I think it's amazing. You can see Emerald and Dwayne up there, and this was the latest iteration. It's very well done. Where are our Victorian Order of Nurses members? Where are you? None? There you are. Please stand up. We want to make some noise for you. Lorna! Can we make a little bit more noise, though, for VON? Let's go! Lorna! So it seems, hello, Lorna. We'll be together on Friday. It seems like our VON members have been bargaining for ages, doesn't it? And that's not far from the truth. Our fantastic VON members have been in bargaining since last fall. Shame. And the employer has been putting up roadblock after roadblock. No time, busy schedules, etc. But on Thursday, Pat Carr, David Cheslock, and I will give a fulsome bargaining update, including VON, the hospitals, and others. But I wanted to highlight a bit about VON right now. It's been quite an experience trying to bargain with VON employers. And home care recently received $1 billion in extra funding. Should some of that money go to fair wages, benefits, and pensions? What do you think? Of course it should. So this Friday, we head to conciliation. This Friday. And we are going to be crystal clear. We need a fair deal for our members. Right? Do you agree? So last month, we held an information session with VON members, and they held a calling and texting action to reach out to the VON board. Well, they were successful, I have to say. Several of our VON members got a hold of VON board member, and this name is not made up, Daryl L. Pink, Chair, Governance Committee. Our VON members told him, good old Daryl, about receiving equal pay for equal work and more. And what was Pink's response? Wait to hear this. He said he has nothing to do with the contract. Well, I beg to differ. So in support of our VON members, we are going to take an action right now. Are you in? Can everyone just quickly pull out their phones and text the board members, or take a screenshot and tell them that the VON nurses deserve a fair contract? The information is on the screen, as you can see, and we will show this slide throughout this meeting this week. So please, feel free to call or text them anytime. Who here is ready to stand in solidarity with our VON members? Who is? No. Who's all in with VON? Who is it? We need to get on this. This needs to happen. Please take the time, it doesn't take but a minute, and text these people and let them know, okay? Again, Lorna is right here, and we're going to conciliation on Friday, and she's gonna need a little zhuzh from all of us, a little boost. So who here is ready to fight alongside VON? So I'd like to give an update on a very special and impactful program that services people experiencing a mental health crisis. It's called Mobile Crisis Intervention Teams, and it is a partnership between some GTA hospitals and the Toronto Police Services. It has been a very busy initiative that has been handling this type of work for decades. The program, it partners a mental health nurse and a specially trained police officer to respond to emergency calls. And when this team attends a call, they will assess the person in crisis and connect them to additional services. This is a vital program, and it is very busy. So in October of last year, the Toronto Police Service sent an email out that the program will be sunsetted at the end of 2026. And this was a complete shock to our members. There was no consultation before this announcement, not with nurses, not with those who use this program, not with hospitals. There was no deep dive into the hows and whys. There was no reason given as to why this program was being canceled. So nurses who work at MCIT, ONA members, began to mobilize. And mobilize they did. Our members, Melissa and Brianna, along with others, advocated because they knew the value of having mental health nurses providing care in crisis situations. They reached out to many groups, including mental health advocates and Toronto City councillors, to keep the program alive and thriving. These fiery nurses launched a WhatsApp group to keep everyone informed of developments and actions. And this amazing group, I love this. wrote the chief of police and the Toronto mayor about the program. They met with the mayor's team. They got their stories in Toronto Star and other media outlets, spreading the word about their program and why it cannot be canceled. And we are proud to support Melissa and Brianna with their mobilizing. Are we proud to support Melissa and Brianna? That's right. I met with Sarah Flogan, Executive Director of the Canadian Federation of Mental Health Nurses, and spoke about how to move the issue forward to continue to support this program and prevent it from being canceled. I also raised this with none other than the Health Minister, Sylvia Jones, and have advocated for the minister to support this program. Earlier this year, we wrote a deputation that was read at the Toronto Police Services Board meeting by the chair, Shelley Carroll. I always mix that up. And we highlighted the important role of our members' work as MCIT nurses and called for the City of Toronto to hold public consultations. In response to the groundswell of support for the program, the Police Services Board directed the police chief to do proper consultation and report back in the first quarter of 2027. This is a positive first step. The cancellation of this program has been put on pause. This is a win. So I'd like to ask Melissa and Brianna to stand up. Where are you? There you are. Yes. You guys, thank you for your fierce mobilizing. It's extraordinary. And listen, can we give them another round of applause? It's amazing. Because of you, these communities will continue to receive what you bring through your expertise, and that is amazing, amazing work. We should all look up to them, hey? Well done. Thank you both. The summer is here, is it not? Who's glad? Wasn't really here yesterday, but was trying. And listen, it is filled with celebrations that uplift our values and bring fun to our political work. We are proud to celebrate Pride and Carnival, two international events that celebrate human rights and equity and challenge discrimination. So I want to talk a bit about these special dates and the meaning behind them. Pride began not as a party, but as a protest. The Stonewall Uprising in 1969 was a response to injustice and a refusal to stay silent in the face of discrimination. Pride carries that legacy forward, even today. When rights are being challenged in parts of the world, Pride remains a call to action. It reminds us that visibility matters and that showing up is powerful not only for ourselves, but for those who still cannot safely do so. Carnival, too, has roots in resistance. It celebrates emancipation from slavery, which is the reclaiming of freedom after oppression. I want to talk a bit about costumes. We have received feedback from members about carnival costumes, and I'd like to set the record straight. Carnival costumes are expressions of identity, creativity, and liberation from oppression. They allow people to take up space boldly, to embody joy in defiance of histories that denied it. Who is in to celebrate? Yes. Both Pride and Carnival ask us not only to celebrate, but to reflect, to challenge injustice, and to ensure these spaces remain inclusive for everyone. Do you agree? So please join us in celebrating Pride and Carnival, and visit our website for more information about how you can participate. And I'll see you there. Are you in? So I'd like to talk about one of the best actions I have ever participated in, and it's a real treat, like I can't handle it almost, I'm giddy. So our fantastic nursing home members are bargaining, well, we just finished arbitration for a new collective agreement, and they are demanding respect. In April, the Ontario Long-Term Care Association held its annual general meeting. Now, this association is huge in long-term care circles. They carry a lot of political weight and influence. And members include Extendicare, we all know Extendicare, we were on their lawn, and Southbridge, when we were on their lawn too, and basically all the bad bosses. Well, okay. So we have all the for-profit nursing home CEOs and directors under one roof. This is very tantalizing. And an event that certainly required the presence of many loud and fierce ONA members. So guess what we did? We crashed it. Boldly and disruptively, I might add. Here we are, more than 50 members, leaders, and staff were at this action. Our feisty group split into two. I gotta get you into this. So one very loud group stayed outside and chanted and created lots of ruckus right in front of the venue. That's one group. And the second group of 20 of us crashed the meeting, and it was so much fun. So let me tell you how it all went down, how it played out. It was similar to being spies. You had to be spies. Molly will have to back me up on this. And we had to blend into the crowd at first. So a brief sidebar is that when we showed up outside, there were 4 police cruisers, an OPP cruiser, you had the security personnel, all for a bunch of nurses and healthcare professionals. But our members did not care. That's a round of applause right there. Did not care. Okay, it's gonna get juicy here. So first, our amazing member mobilizers gave a quicken service. People need to go in pairs and be discreet until the timing is right. Cops and security were everywhere, like every 10 to 15 feet. There was uniforms, plainclothes, it was crazy. And by the way, as you can imagine, I was being secretive and discreet. I had to blend in. So guess who I was paired with? None other than Region 1 Vice President Monique Storzek. So you have to imagine this. Monique and I had to act. And boy, oh boy, did we ever. Hey, Monique? Yeah. So here's what we did. We acted like DOCs. And we had our Starbucks coffee. And we were laughing and giggling, as Monique and I don't normally do, and we made sure our ONA merch was covered up. Monique wore her puffer, so she had to borrow Alan's scarf to cover it up. And so can you imagine how natural that looked? And it's always a great time for coffee, Monique. So finally, we get through we get where we need to go. And Molly, is Molly here? Is she here? The member mobilizer gave us the signal. It was time to crash the meeting. And out came the 20 of us together, walking to the doors, firstly, to the meeting, and we chanted loudly. I started, care, and what's the response? Care, care, care. That's exactly how it went down. In the hotel, it was insane. And guess who? Dwayne pulled out the banner that was tucked into his pants and boots, and that was a sight. And by the way, security guards and some administrators tried to grab Dwayne, but he pushed through them. Way to go, Dwayne! And then it was my turn, and cover your ears if you don't like bad language. My turn, you know, this very short and stout man in a white suit grabbed me to try and prevent me by the arm and pulled me back from entering. That was a big mistake. I pulled my arm away from him and told him to fuck off, and I kept going. And I know it's hard to believe, but I did. Cover your ears, that's what happened. So, there were about 20 of us busting into this meeting. It was so good. With security and OLTCA, John was in there. The staff was trying to block our entry. It was so good. I've never been so proud in my life. But we would have none of it. We kept going. We kept going. Nursing home members, where are you? And we made our way up to the front of the room, and we chanted aloud again in the room in front of you. As you can imagine, all of the bad bosses. And what did we say? Care! 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 That's right, and we cycled through and got our message through. Nursing home CEOs were aghast at what they saw, and that's good. It was disruptive. People didn't know what to do. We knew what to do, but they didn't know what to do. They were standing there with their mouth agape, and it was insane. It was great. So we continued to chant and make this huge statement, and the statement we did make. We were there in front of many long-term care managers and executives, making our demands loud and clear. And we have a video of what went down in there. Let's play it.
Across Ontario, we are fighting for care, not profit in nursing homes. As employers rake in record profits, we're fighting at the bargaining table, demanding fair wages, better benefits, and safer working conditions.
This team that you elected is fierce, hardcore, and strong, and you are in great hands with them. They will fight. They will get this done.
And we're fighting in the streets. We picketed the head office of Southbridge Care Homes, one of Ontario's largest for-profit nursing home chains. We held a flash protest, disrupting the Ontario Long-Term Care Association's annual general meeting to make our voices heard. In April, we targeted Extendicare, picketing and asking questions directly to CEO Michael Guerriere in front of shareholders.
This round of bargaining, will you put care over profit? Will you negotiate a new collective agreement with fair wages and safer working conditions?
Members across the province are ramping up the pressure on greedy for-profit CEOs, organizing information pickets outside long-term care homes. Nursing home members are making it clear, respect can't wait.
Who's proud of this union? So you saw what went down, and then after we left the room, we made our way back outside, joining those who were chanting. And my heart burst that day. We were disruptive, we were bold, and we made our voices heard. It wasn't just nursing home members who took part in this action. We had members come from Muskoka, Lisa Ellen, Sue Croxford from the east. We had Sandy Kravitz from Region 5 as a retiree, and many, many more. ONA 8 brought a carload from Windsor. They came to Toronto in support of long-term care members on a Monday morning at 10 a.m. Thank you for fighting the traffic. Thank you for showing solidarity. It's extraordinary. So I'd like to ask some members who took part in this action to get up to the mics and give their perspectives. So we have Chinyeri, Irene, Genevieve, Dwayne, and no other than Monique Storzik. Okay, are you all at mics? Let me start. We'll just leave my list there. I'll call on Chinyeri. Chinyeri, how did it feel that day? Tell us.
Amazing. It felt so amazing, so powerful.
And you were outside, right?
Yes, yes.
You were outside. Tell me about outside.
We are outside and yelling, care, not profit.
Yep.
And also you see amazing, wonderful ONA members being empowered and, together we are just fighting the same cause. It was so amazing, so wonderful. And we just saw the police, come over and say, get out of here.
Yeah.
Move.
Yeah.
But we said, no, we're not going anywhere.
That's right, we're not going anywhere.
That's right.
Why don't we ask Irene, how did you feel about it? Give us your 2 cents.
I felt the energy from everybody that was there, the empowerment that we had over the employer, and the police weren't going to touch us. They threatened us, but we weren't going anywhere.
They didn't.
It was great.
They were everywhere, weren't they? One called me, a security guard called me a punk. I blushed. Genevieve.
So we feel like the nurses was really empowered, like the energy was there, the excitement was there, like the nurses was really fearful. We actually had the security guards come over and no, we stand our ground we want you to hear what are the nurses here for. It was really great.
It was great. Well, there's one security guard to begin with, remember? Yeah. And then called in the whole team.
Yeah,
it was great.
They made sure we're out of the hotel, actually.
So as a long-term care nurse, Genevieve, how does it feel to have people bursting into a meeting with you and standing ground for you and with you? How does it feel?
I really feel like our group was really unified. You can feel the solidarity among nurses. Nurses from the hospital was actually there to support it. It was really a great rally.
See, and that's why it means something. We got it, we have to. We must stand together. Did you hear what Genevieve said? We stand our ground. Dwayne Stockley, pulling a banner out of your boot. Yeah, tell us, how did it feel breaking through the doors and doing that?
It was a very interesting day. For those of you who don't know me well, I am painfully shy, and that's a fact. And to have that moment to have to walk through a building with a 6-foot banner stuffed in your leg of your pants up to your armpit and look discreet was just beyond the pale. But the moment of actually walking up to the AGM and having the same security guard who tried to tell us to stay off the property direct me up, it was just a little ironic. But then to break through the door and literally push through some people who tried to keep us out, it was one of the most disruptive moments I've had since I've been an active union member. And it's one I don't think I would want to miss. Yeah. I felt like I actually was taking members' voices directly to the people who needed to hear them.
Yes.
And the one thing that I think I really took from the whole experience is that in that moment, it was easy for me because it wasn't my sector, it wasn't my employer. I got to be somebody's voice, but I got to do it in a way where I could be more bold than I normally would be.
And bold you were.
That was the moment for me. The only regret I have is that we didn't stay in the room and chant until the police dragged us out.
Well, next time.
Next time.
We can always wish. So who's coming next time and waiting for the police to drag us out? Yeah! Can we take those names down, Zena, please? Minute. And Monique Storzak, do you want to give your 2 cents? Remember when we were invited to go to the AGM when we were being DOCs?
Yes. So, actually the funniest memory I have is discreetly walking through the hotel, and as we got closer to where the AGM was being held, the same security guard asked us if we were there for the AGM, and we said, oh, yes, we are.
Yes, we are, in fact.
And he politely directed us up the escalator so that we could go into the AGM, and we're like, oh, thank you very much. We really appreciate your help. And then watching members burst through the door, Dwayne, it was inspiring, it was energizing. I don't cry very often, and it almost brought a tear to my eye because it just made me feel like this is the union I've always wanted to be a part of. This is the union I knew that ONA could be, and now we're getting there. We're going in the direction that we should have always been.
Make me verklempt. If I can just take 2 seconds to tell a really interesting thing. Part of the story was when Monique and I were invited up the escalator. We were still in DOC mode. And we were laughing that the security guard invited us up. So we went to the washroom because we were trying to find Molly. We needed our member mobilizers because that was our plan. But we didn't know exactly where they'd be. And Monique and I were really laughing, peeing ourselves laughing about that security guard inviting us up the escalator. And we came in the washroom, and the member mobilizers came popping out of the washroom stalls. They're like, hey! No, it was great. It was the best day. And I really want to see all of you take part in these direct actions. If you're comfortable, come. There's always a step along the way before we get dragged out by the police. I'll get dragged out by the police, that's fine with me. But not everybody's there yet. There will be stuff for us all to do together. But are you in next time? So I want to thank all our members for telling their truths. I think it's super inspirational. And I think it's safe to say that we're all stoked and we are going to be there next time. So let's all be honest about what this is. This is a fight. Across long-term care, hospitals, public health, Ontario Health at Home, and community care, we are all feeling it. Short staffing, burnout. And we're done pretending that conversations are going to fix it. And that's why the OLTCA action matters. Not because it's neat or comfortable, but because it isn't. It gives people permission to stop holding back, to take more direct action, to get a little louder, a little bolder, and a little harder to ignore. So what does it mean to fight? It means being scrappy. A scrappy union isn't polished. It doesn't wait for the perfect plan or the perfect moment. It works with what it's got. And it moves. It organizes in hallways, in WhatsApp group chats. It turns frustration into anger and into action. That's our strength. That's our strength. You tell me if you agree with this. This is who we are. We push back. We take up space. Come on. We make noise. And we back each other up. We back each other up. We are ready to fight. You ready to fight? You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Willing to fight and united to fight. So I feel a chant coming on, so everybody, if you can, stand. We'll get quiet and then we'll get louder. Unite the fight. 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 Come on, unite the fight.